Redux Radio.
Yeah.
Don't think, just dance.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So Redux Radio, you may remember us from Redux Radio on Instagram, featuring Chimii and Gondo over here. We've got Sandro back from the original podcast.
Dude,
Yes.
that never came out.
The last podcast.
The last podcast. I mean, it's cool. At least like we're back to do it like again.
Yeah.
And on the premise that we're actually about to throw probably the best show of the year, in my opinion. I'm saying it, claiming it already. So buy your tickets.
So yeah, we're recording at my crib, Mom Paul's crib, courtesy of my mom Paul,
Mama Bird.
Mama Bird. Yeah, live from Joburg, and we hope people around the world hear this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a vibe. I think this is just an introductory to who we are and what we're trying to get done over here. So we're gonna play some sounds, talk about some shit, and
like it's not like we do know what we're gonna talk about, but it's us talking. So enjoy us. It's not about any other things, or we are very opinionated people and we will share our opinions. You know.
Also, we've got our assistant over here, Lisedi. Social media.
Season of Kobe.
Season of Kobe.
Season of Kobe.
What is that season of Kobe? What is that Kobe thing about?
I don't know. Just people call me Kobe.
Hey.
Nobi.
Kobe.
That's bro. I like that Sandro. I don't know lie.
So yeah,
And you help us with everything, though. That's my slime.
check out Seasons of Kobe on the gram. Yeah. What are we gonna talk about, bro?
So, I mean, it's a radio show, so I feel like it's best we start talking about music because, like, I don't know what else we can talk about. No relationship stuff. The other
no
things we don't want to talk about.
No hot topics.
Hot topic of the day.
Oh man.
What are you guys listening to, like, right now?
Let me actually, what I've really been enjoying is Bari. You need to check out Bari, man. Zero Fatigue. I don't know if you guys have ever bothered to listen to shit other than what's on the radio, but Bari is like one of the guys on my shit. He's got a single out called Rack Attack. You should check that out. Should we give a sample?
We will.
Okay, we will give a sample.
We will.
Actually, next playlist, next Redux playlist. You guys need
It's
to check
actually
it out.
going to be exclusively Bari.
Yeah.
And Bari, if you actually get to this decision, we actually...
Yo.
dog. You actually have to... Yeah.
He's just, we need to get you on the lineup, bro.
Yeah.
Bari, Redux 2021, 2022, something. So, if you hear this, we need that.
Is that all? Just Bari? Or...
Nah, I don't know. It's not just Bari, but there hasn't really been music out.
Yeah, like,
So
to be honest, like, it's been
dry.
like, everyone's releasing, but look, to be honest...
And if you're talking about, look, if I'm going to talk about things that I like, it's going to be 2019 shit. The only thing that's been dope right now is maybe Brent Fayez. That's my guy.
I'm a walking direction.
But okay, what did you actually think about that album, to be honest with you?
I think...
That's the first talking point. Brent Fayez, fuck the world.
I that's a good question. I think that guy is like, he can sing really well. Like, his voice is ridiculous. But I think like his content is like, I mean, he's like an R&B gangster. Like, you know, he's like that toxic boyfriend vibe. Like, he sings about the same stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe I get why some shorties like feel like he doesn't have depth in his tracks. But to be honest,
Okay, what's depth?
that's a good question.
Because he's also trying to relay his life story or his experiences, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think people are stuck on like the corniness of love songs. They still want to hear like, what can I say? Who's the most...
Or the fairy tale love story.
The fairy tale, like Versace on the floor, like... I mean, that's a cool song. You know, Bruno Mars is one of the best vocalists out here. But like, ain't nobody trying to hear Versace on the floor, dog. Like,
that's not real love. Like, real love is complicated.
Yeah, it's
and
like
ugly
difficult.
and messy
It's like
shit.
messy.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's all those things in like one thing. So I feel like I'll cut him some slack on that side. Like, the writing, I feel can get doper, but his content doesn't need to change. It just needs to elevate. Like, he needs to try broaden his perspective of the subject. Like, if you're talking about heartbreak and you only talk about the nigga side, which is true. You know, you only because you feel it. But understanding perspective is what makes like okay artists great artists. Like,
I hear that. Okay, I mean, I don't know, man. I think maybe we also just make it too deep. Maybe I think about it as like a project. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be that extensive of a project that is supposed to relay Brent Faiyaz's whole life story. I think from what I heard from it, it was like a package of a bunch of experiences he had over some time, you know? And I think maybe not taking it so deeply and looking at the collection of tracks as a shot, like as a picture of that moment, you know, like I think that's how you need to take that in. I think we shouldn't listen to music with all the same kind of ear. I think you should be able to change your ear to adjust the ear to the music. Yeah,
like the I don't know if people agree with me, but like the artists that we kind of grew up listening to gave us no like chance to rest. Like how extensive they tell the story is like what makes it part of our lives, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like a momentary. I mean, okay. Also, it's good that you're saying that because I get the part where you say like it's a momentary thing, but also like what can I say? I want to say this in the most like your story doesn't, because of streaming, like we've all been eating up stuff quickly. Artists are not given time to extend their moment, like to actually gain inspiration to make some new music.
Oh, so they always, you think there's like too much of a pressure to always be
releasing. That's why like you can tell when a story is like half done or half said.
So is this how you feel about the Brent Faiyaz thing? It was too short. Like,
it was too like the story was he knew what he wanted to say, but it was like really quick. Like,
he should have added a lot more to the detail to the structure of what he had already had.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like a prelude to an album.
Maybe.
Yo,
I
Brent,
hope so.
Let us know, man.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Sandro, what are you listening to, dog? Always just
Sandro
quiet. That's tracks.
Yes, man. I even told Gondo I'm so out of touch these days, dude. But I did give that. I started the Archie Marshall, the King Crew, the new album.
I haven't listened to that.
Yo,
first 2-3 tracks. Wow, amazing. Obviously, I was actually listening with someone in the car, and I actually changed it for that reason. It's something I need to actually sit with alone and enjoy and let take me wherever it takes me, because obviously I can't listen for one, you know, without hearing complaints of it being too weird or too this, too that. So it's something I like to do on my own. But from what I've heard so far, it feels like something in the line of The Ooze or whatever he did, which I loved, which was my favorite album of that year.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that. And right now it's an experience.
What does it sound like? Like what's the soundscape like? Because I think he's like a crazy artist, but he always comes with like that new shit.
His music, I think, is like one big, beautiful. It's just fusion. I can only describe it as fusion because it has like, I know, jazz, what you call neo and acid jazz influences.
Yeah.
But it also has that glitchy electronic side to it, like that very modern, you know, Internet Age type of, you know, mixing and editing, with also that rock aesthetic of the very muffled vocals and the screaming and the just very rough and toxic sort of lyrics and stuff. But at some point,
and he had a kid though.
He had a kid.
Wait, he had a kid?
He had a kid recently. Like,
are you serious, bro?
Yeah, dog. Like, he's a dad. So, like, I mean, I think that.
But no, but I think that's one of the guys that do contradict the thing that you're saying about guys not taking the time to find inspiration or to find new things to talk about. This guy last dropped 2015.
17.
Nah, but that was that like a full drop? Like was it like
the Ooze was like,
was it a heavy drop?
It was heavy, bro. That shit was hard. People skipped it because of the previous album.
Nah, and you placed it.
That's like
Nah,
Bro,
that's one of the
craziest
best albums he's ever made.
Yeah, that is. No, it's still his
come
best.
on, dude.
Like, that's still his best.
Nah,
No,
really?
honestly.
A New Place to Drown is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life, bro.
Really?
That has to be top 10.
Look, I'm not denying it's hard, but have you listened to the Ooze like properly?
Okay, maybe
Fuck, dude,
I haven't listened to the Ooze.
I'm
a shitty King Crew fan. I apologize.
But
Yeah, I just
do-
got it. I just added it to Apple Music. Okay, yeah.
Please do that, by
Yeah.
the way. Not like try and avoid, this download thing. I think now something I've learned, especially with Apple Music, is, it doesn't hurt to actually just add it to your library, and rather than downloading it, and not giving the artists themselves a single listen every time you listen, or, you know what I'm saying? I think it's something we need to actually adopt, and it's something I've actually learned from now that I'm, pushing stuff, or that I have pushed stuff. Just, Apple's made it very convenient. Rather add it so that every time you do listen to it, it's actually adding numbers.
For the artists.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Is that what King Crew's like the
King Crew, obviously some older stuff. I'm still loving, Billie Eilish's thing. I really like. I'm not gonna lie to you, eh?
Was she banging like that for?
Yeah, I actually liked it, and also,
I'm mad that she doesn't write anything.
Next talking point, the Grammys, ne? Just after the favorites, the Grammys next. Okay, okay. So Billie Eilish,
just a bunch of random things.
Look, okay.
I heard some
on that
new
point.
OG Mako.
new OG
Mako.
But I just saw a new jumper. No, guys, bro. Like apparently that guy got fucked over.
Mako.
He got fucked over by QC apparently.
But like, I get it, bro.
Why?
I mean,
Wasn't he the hardest guy to bring? Apparently he brought the first distribution deal that they got. He brought it apparently.
he brought
he brought
it to the label.
Yes. So he had gotten the distribution deal independent, like personally apparently, and then he had taken it to QC because they were the guys that were gonna back him, according to him.
Wow.
So he took that distribution, and what he says, they ended up cutting him out of the deal and just doing it on their own, and used that distribution deal on Yardi and them.
Wow.
Okay, look now.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that's fucked.
Look,
That's
that's fucked, man. But like, dog, like, look, OG Mako is like OG. Maybe, I don't know. People used to like him when I was like young, like 2015. Basically, against it. Like, that was cool. That tape was cool, but like, dude, we're talking about like Yachty and like
Lil Baby.
Migos and like Lil Baby. Like, those are really like.
You know what I got from that thing? He seemed very bitter. He kept saying that he wasn't bitter. It seemed like it. Maybe I'm wrong. That was just my take. And also, it kind of seemed like he was that guy who was just mad about something that didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. A little bit.
Like Quentin talking about Meek Mandela.
Nah. People taking that seriously though, bro. Charlemagne took that seriously.
I mean, bro, Charlemagne is just the worst nigga ever. That guy is just... I like him though, he's cool. He's cool. He's not cooler than Joe, but he's cool.
Shout out Joe Biden, man.
Joe Biden's
King
like
of podcasting.
Cool. Like, that's the real guy. So is that like OG Mako though?
I'm not gonna lie, it has a few tracks that are actually like, it's surprisingly, you just expect it to be trash because it's OG, and it wasn't trash. And I
But
think
is he really trash though, guys?
No. I think it's because he's been so quiet for so long. You expect him to have fallen off, I guess.
Nah, but they apparently saying he was sabotaged from dropping music. He was free Weezy, basically.
Okay,
They were brainwashing him.
actually a little hard. I'm not
Okay,
gonna lie.
that's pretty harsh though. It would be like
It's different if they didn't do your thing.
if they didn't drop the music and they just not pushing it.
Exactly.
And that's
That
like
is
different. Okay, then that's whack.
We don't know
That's
the
whack.
story.
But we don't know the story. Alright.
So, OG Mako and
Ooh. I guess I was listening to Danny Towers, something called Tarantula, and
Danny Towers. Is he like a black dude?
he's always with rapping on Wi-Fi funeral songs and ski mask type. He's in that sort of crowd, the Florida crowd, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, his thing also, nothing's really wooed me so far.
Oh, RIP the Woo.
Why did I say woo? Oh no.
R.I.P. to my slime, big
Ish,
homie.
man.
Pops
Wait, funeral.
Bro,
Whoa.
Wheezy. Bro, I listened to that album there. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I love Wheezy. I still consider him, if not my top 3 rapper, the best rapper of all time.
Yeah.
Like, in that generation of rappers, he was just unstoppable. And we all know that. But I feel like the album thing is played out, dog. Like, he's just not doing anything that makes sense, in my opinion.
Right, I think Weezy doesn't know what else to do. Like, I think he's been so immersed in rap, and I watched his interview on the Happy Hour.
Yeah,
Happy Hour, right? With the homies Nori, the OG Nori.
Noriega.
Yeah, and look, man, Weezy's just one of those guys who's become a master at his craft, and he takes rap. Rap is more than a societal thing; it's more than a trend. So he'll always want to do it, no matter what it takes.
It's a craft.
You know?
You're right.
Yeah.
So like, it's not music. He will have the music vibe, but I think like he's so immersed in the craft, they can't just stop. It's like, yeah, I feel you. Okay,
You know how old people, like, even though they get extremely old, they like to take walks. Like, they really force a walk, and they like don't want to stop moving, that type of thing. So I feel like maybe he's going through that, and that's partly why he does this auto-tune thing as well.
bro,
where he's
it's
like,
horrible.
yo, man. But I think it's also him in a weird way.
It's really horrible.
It's really horrible. But
It's
I
even
think in a
more
weird
horrible
way,
than
that's
our
him.
guys one.
I think in a weird way, that's him, at least maybe even subconsciously fighting that inevitable aging beyond the ability to make music and to just stop what you're doing because you're unable.
I think
In a
also,
weird way, you know what I'm saying?
I think the thing that
And
also,
that's yo.
I think that also hits him is like, you know, when you've reached OG status and people keep telling you like the new generation is like, we all know that the new age of rappers basically took their whole blueprint
From Weezy.
From
Nah,
Weezy.
Weezy is
From
the
aesthetics
ultimate blueprint.
to like he
Even
is
work
the-
ethic-wise.
work
Yeah.
ethic,
True.
aesthetics,
Even sound. Like to experiment with your voice. I think he was the kind of guy that kind of made that possible.
and it's kind of like he feels. I want to say like he feels that he because the rap is like that he is the OG sound. You know, you never want to let the OG sound go. It's like Usher still trying to make pop R&B hits now. Like he can still do it. He can if he wanted to, but like
it's not his pocket.
it's not his pocket anymore. Like Bruce Breezes is like still here. And he's like,
Yo, bro.
yo, dog.
Yo, we like we are hardcore Breezy fans.
Like,
Yeah,
yo,
man.
that guy is like, yeah,
like
he,
that's the greatest of all time, bro.
Like he actually does what he does. Like take the life aspect out and just keep it strictly music. Like that guy is the guy. We released 2 40-track albums back to back,
and they both went plat.
They both went plat. That doesn't make any sense.
And
to
they
me.
didn't go plat because of promotion. Dude, his albums don't even get promoted. You guys need to, wait, no, let's talk about this. This nigga don't even really promote the album like that. 1. 2, he goes 40 tracks and people like all the tracks. I know people that say they like all the tracks on those.
Like the tracks, all of them. On the last album and this album. And No Guidance is basically if you wanted to say it's one of those songs of like
of the decade.
The decade.
It could be one of the songs.
It could be one of the songs of the decade.
Yeah,
like,
No Guidance.
I never thought that collab would be as good as it sounded.
But
I always knew hypothetically Drake and Chris
would be crazy,
sick,
but not that sick.
Not that sick.
Okay.
So that's cool.
The Grammys. Tyler winning the Grammy.
Let me say what I'm listening to. That new Bad Romance 2 Chimii out now. You know,
Shameless
that's
plug.
all I listen to. Bad Romance 1 track 1 to 5. That's all. I don't listen to no one's music. Nothing. Bad Romance 2 strictly Chimii. That's all I gotta say.
Out on all platforms.
Out on all platforms now. And I've like listened to some unreleased stuff like new rapper niggas.
Okay, how was Champagne's Nunu? Because you got the snippets.
Dude, look, man, I just really fuck with those guys. Like, it's like, No.
Why are you laughing, Sandro?
Why are you laughing?
Wow, laugh a lot.
No, dog. Musically, like, nah, dog.
No, they
musically, like, they've really found their project, like, their pocket.
You know when
like, for real.
Was it Sebastian that they played at
Dude.
House of Straws?
Dude,
Yo.
like, that song right
Look
there.
out for Sebastian.
Like, Sebastian featuring, I'm not gonna say the name because I'm gonna ruin it, but, like, that shit is hard. Like, they released, like a trailer video of a track, like, Translucent. It's like produced by Ben or Langy, one of the two.
Yeah.
Also, like, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
South Africa has some of the best producers in the world. Like,
but they don't. I think the placement thing's an issue. Like we were speaking about earlier, placement is the biggest issue.
It's like producers are not seeing themselves as artists, but as almost like sales reps. They want to sell beats, but like, you must understand that the 1,000 rand, yes, it will help you for that like millisecond, or you can sell 10 beats for 1,000 rand and you get 10k, but like, what does that do for you
and your career?
Like, you to tap into bigger markets or bigger like money, because a producer's real like bread and butter is the credibility, the sound, and the credibility to say like, yo, I've worked with so and so. And I think also it's on the artist part, like, you want to keep artists like cooked up making you bangers only, and you don't want to say like, yo, this guy's the guy who makes bangers, and we don't have to like stifle him to only make beats for Chimii. Like, I'm gonna make beats for everyone because the sound, he's the sound. I'm the artist, but he's the sound.
Moral of the story: respect
producers, like, for real,
and respect yourselves too.
Yeah. So I think like Champagne have found their pocket in the music, and I hope like people just respect the project for what it is and stop like telling them to rap. Like, rappers are actually
kind of boring.
They're kind of boring because like, yeah, they rap well, but their music sucks.
Yeah, like, there's no energy in the music.
You rather be rapping like okay, and your music is ridiculous, because I prefer that. Like, we are music listeners. Yes, we love rap music, but like, we love rap, but we love music more than rap, just as a particular genre. So like, that's cool. So a lot of unreleased stuff, a lot of old stuff too. I've been listening to a lot of old dance tracks. Like, there's this guy, you know Heady One, that British rapper Heady One, yeah. So this track both, and I remember the first time I came to South Africa as a kid, like when we immigrated this side, there was a song, "You're free to be who you want to be, live your life." It's like an old dance flick.
Okay.
And these guys are like literally sampling it the best. Like, the best.
But those UK rappers have
those UK, and they've got like their sampling arsenal is so extensive, because that UK, like, the music that has come out of the UK in the past maybe 30-40 years has been really ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, a lot of Chimii, a lot of unreleased other homies, and a lot of old stuff, and Baby Keem too. I'm still wheeling this shit, like, this shit is fire. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, 2020, niggas need to come with that heat, like, we lacking. Yeah, the Grammys.
Shout out Tyler. That's what I have to say.
Wow, dude.
Like, but
and also Billy, bro. I think I do want to shout her out because she's like one of the youngest artists to win that many Grammys ever, right?
Dude, but also she's never written a track.
What do you mean?
Of her own. All those tracks are written by Phineas.
Wait, Phineas writes those songs?
All of them. She just sings the songs. And he produces. So he's basically Billie Eilish.
So he's winning those Grammys, basically.
He's winning. Those are his Grammys. Like, those are her Grammys, you know, because she performs and stuff. But like, the real sound, like, it's him. The mixing, like, dog.
Yeah. Wait, Phineas is the real genius.
Dude, Phineas is the real genius. That's why Tyler.
Phineas the genius.
That's why Tyler needs more credit. Like, I was thinking, like, you know, when he wrote, you know, at the credits of his album on the artist say produced by Tyler, written by Tyler, arranged by Tyler. I thought he was just being like cocky, nice or like cocky, but it's actually like
pretty insane.
That
you pull that off alone.
And on top of that, he was genre bending. You know, for a rapper to do that, the last person I know that was genre bending was Yeezy. And he's the only guy that did genre bending the way he's supposed to do it. Not Drizzy. You know, Drizzy, they say genre bends, but
you still, you lace it with the hip hop. Instead of when you're gonna bend, really make the turn.
like bend it.
Yeah.
And Yeezy, obviously, that's the
goal.
That's the king of this rap game. And I think like the Grammys are, I don't know, man. It's just too institutionalized, dog. Like it's
However, I don't know. I think the reason why we're so, or at least why I'm so happy.
No, don't stop.
About the Tyler thing is, I guess Tyler getting the Grammy, I think, is a step in the right direction because it's so genre bending. It's so left field, like out of left field. It's so, I don't know, man. I feel like the Grammy's safer option would be what was he up against?
Meek Mill.
You know, those are like
Savage.
your cut out hip hop tracks. But for them to actually go for something that's literally risky and actually classifies as, to an extent, experimental, that I think is something very.
But then why didn't they categorize him in pop?
I think
that is something actually.
If you're saying that, then it's like if they were thinking about how genre bending he was.
I think also the way the Grammys also set up, the way they used to, maybe it's always been like this, I don't know. But the way the Academy was looked at by me as a person that is a person who aspires to be an artist, like from that time, it's like the Grammys are like a school. I think about it like almost like a school of magic. That
or like the best in
like
the best of music.
In the best of music. We study the art, like how they write, how they arrange, how they compose, how the production is done, how the mixing is done, like all the stuff. Like they break it down. I thought it's like a classroom. Then they'll put Tyler's record on and it'll be like, this is why Ego is the best in this category. And they break it down.
I don't think it's like that.
It's not like that. But I thought it was like the best of they call it like the Grammy, the Record Academy. So it's like,
but you should have known that from when they snapped Kendrick. This is
the thing, is that they've snapped Kendrick, and that's the thing that I understood, that the Grammys have changed from the Kendrick time, because all the other people that have won Grammys were very well deserved.
Cardi,
you see, not in the after the Kendrick Good Kid, Mad City time. Everyone that has won after that has been horrible. The only person, the only album that won, 2 albums that won, especially in the rap category or album of the year category, that was real, was Adele winning for the 35.
Yeah, but she was always gonna win.
She was always gonna win.
Even if it was whack.
Kendrick for Damn and Super Butterfly. Like, if he didn't win at that point, no one is ever gonna go there to the Grammys anymore. But you could already tell the culture around the Grammys by that after the Kendrick incident happened, that it's become...
It's opinion based.
It's opinion based. Like, Yeezy winning for Graduation. That's like...
That makes sense.
That's like
it's like almost like a world changing album.
It's a world changing album.
Yeah.
You know? Or like, who can I say? Like MJ winning for Thriller. Those are like one of those, like, it makes sense.
You had to give it to him.
You had
to. But everything now is like very political. Like everything now across board, whether it be music, whether it be sport, whether it be opinions, it's like very politically correct vibe. So when there's too much money involved,
things get like that.
Things get like that. You know, you as a record label, it's messed up, but you know, these guys are thinking about it as revenue stream. Like, yo, our label fosters so many Grammy winners. Him paying to get the Grammy to make sure that his label is the most attractive for guys to come make him money. That's all they're thinking about. Even at the Academy, when they're giving them, the integrity of the thing is not preserved. And I'm glad that it's coming out now. People are talking about it, because this is very immersed in the culture of music just across boards. You know, it's not just hip hop, but all genres. It should be based off the music. But yeah, I don't know. That shit sucks. Shouldn't even talk about our awards. Our awards are like, dude, I don't even know if we get prize money. Maybe I'm wrong. But like,
yeah, right. Long story short, he was like, I'm glad he won the Grammy. I think people were deserving this year. It wasn't so bad. But
Yeah, this year wasn't bad.
okay, Southern music. What are we saying? What do you think about? Maybe we should always keep it local. People are gonna be mad we ain't keeping it local. What about Southern music? What are you feeling? Tell me the truth.
Look,
What are you feeling, Chimii? Tell me what you feel.
I think South African artists are getting hard done by. Like, the mainstream has been locked to a point that it's not open market. People keep buying space, but it's like people have always bought space, but now it's like they're buying up all the space. So there's no chance for anything new to break out. And if it's new, it's always paired with an old
guy. Someone has to either do a remix on your song.
Yeah, like
You can never. The last guys that were hot just for being hot were Nasty. Because Juice Bag he did on his own, right?
Yeah,
that was on his own.
That was like him.
And then who else came out on their own? And
Reese. Like he came.
No, but he didn't come out.
I mean, he didn't come out. The Ambitious Time. Do people still consider them? I really hate Ambitious Reese, bro.
No, you can't hate Ambitious Reese. You have to hate Ambitious. Because they're the ones screwing over the people, bro.
That's the thing as well.
They are
like,
the biggest
it's not
screw over.
Oh my god.
And also, we don't have affiliations to people in this game, so I'll gladly say fact Ambitious. To be honest with you.
What's actually happening with him now? Like, what are they like at this point?
They have a new like rapper.
One of their artists. Who's under them at this point?
The Hustler's not under them. I don't even know.
Did the Hustler leave?
Is he still under them?
He's still under them. Hey, it's three. Oh,
I don't know actually.
They obviously still
but that's tricky.
Look,
yeah, MT's in a doozy, but he opened his label. That's dope.
And he's opening up to work with a lot of artists, and that's fly. I think the artists are not the problem, but rather the institution. The institution is.
Do we even have an institution?
That's the thing, is that we had one because South African music at some point was going up. Like, maybe not for hip hop, but for like genres in general, you know. Maybe since my GOAT, my Slime, Nyohu really opened the door, even for guys that hated him. He really made like hip hop the center of the party. So even guys that really don't like him, their platform grew just because he like just kept making so much noise. So we can hate on his music as well. You know, I'm a big fan of him. His music, though I'm not really that deep inside. But I think like he was one of the last. Maybe Nasty's also following the same speed, is to take the institution out of the game, like cut the middleman.
And really just do your thing.
Do your thing. The way you do it, how you sound,
how you feel,
the mood of the videos is, like, it's you.
I think too many things are determined by like the socio-political climate, like just how things are. Like if a trend is like this, people sort of alter their minds and the way that they're gonna express themselves to the trend instead of expressing their truth. They sort of try to do things that are gonna fit with the trend so that they can pop, which works commercially, but I guess
and it works sometimes monetarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Commercially it works, but you kind of suffer in authenticity, which I think what we're lacking. And
that's the thing. That's why we have, you know, all the old guys come and say, "Oh no, young guys don't have longevity." Like in them, they don't have the classic in them, and they don't have the classic in them because of that very point. They rushing to make the hit song all the time. Exactly. Yeah. Instead of rushing to like grow their truth, grow what they're saying, like what they actually want to say, how they're feeling about stuff, like, you know, like what they take is on what they take is on the world, shit, like whether it's good or bad. It's opinionated. It's opinionated. It's very, very relative, but I think the artists in South Africa, and also as much as we're blaming the institution, we also need to partially blame the artists themselves. Why? In the sense that maybe, from what I'm gauging, is that a lot of the artists that are coming out now are like very pop. Like they're not making music for making and speaking truth, and you know, musicians are journalists in a way. It's like a life. Yeah, like a life journalist. It's a life journalist, and you're taking your take on things and what you've seen and what you've heard. It's ridiculous that there was this like sporting segment. You know, sporting are doing like really good work. Yeah, they really putting people on. They're really putting people on. There was a segment with this kid Tabi. I think he does Does somebody do like, what show does it do? Jet lag.
Yeah.
Show. And there's a segment of him asking like, yo, how do you like really make the shit pop?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, never focus on the tracks. Focus on affiliation, like focus on how you look, focus on everything that has nothing to do with the music.
And that's the game.
That is the game. But a balance is very important.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do all of that, you're gonna last a year if you get it right, or 2 years.
Or you're always gonna have to keep that up.
You're always gonna have to keep that up, and you can't keep that up because you never learned the fundamentals of producing your truth. That's why you find niggas jump, rather than when you're looking at artists like, who can I say, that has really taken time.
Who's an artist that you think you feel like you know through their music? Because I think that's a good measure of whether or not people are being authentic in their music. Yeah. Who do you think in South Africa that has a body of work that you feel like you can relate to, or you can understand enough to know about them a little bit?
I'm gonna break it up between old and...
Nah, don't talk about old, bro.
No, there's no
need for us to talk about
old niggas. Like, I think the only guy that actually knows how to write music, like that bears his truth, apart from Chimii, is Patrick. Like Patrick is like the one of the few guys I know. Like he can't hide his heart, basically.
Yeah, he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Like he really wears his heart on his sleeve, and even if the track is sounding like so bang and like angry, you can hear his pain in the music and in how he writes. And that's, to me, a mark of an artist that will last longer than given, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that everyone asked like, yo, when are they going to give Patrick his flowers? And I think his flowers are going to come when he deserves it. Not when he deserves it, but it's going to come at the right time. Because he's here to actually last. Like, actually be here.
Okay.
You know, to enrich the world of music, you know.
Fuck, that's crazy. Yeah, Patrick Lee, man.
Patrick Lee.
That's the OG.
I feel based on what I've heard is one thing that I think is very important in the big picture type of stuff is if you listen to his stuff around maybe even 2 years ago, and you listen to his stuff now, his stuff was working back then. It was actually working for him, I guess, commercially or in terms of pop.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But what he's doing now, especially with this very,
metal
rock, it's something that I feel a lot of people don't want him to do deep in their heart. They might support it, but it's something that's very risky to do. Yet he's doing it for himself,
and that's why.
If you had to listen to his music from 2017 or whatever up to now, there is actually a progression. You can see the development of his mind, of his heart through his music, and that's so important.
That is like the most important. And you know, I think and this is something that I feel not many artists kind of like blame artists for that. It's like a good, stable to honest opinions of your music. Like when I play my new stuff for Gondo or for you, I know that you guys will give me context of how the sound sounds, and also how sometimes
it makes you feel.
Makes me feel, but also sometimes how to deliver it. You know, sometimes you can deliver a painful message in a different way.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be painful.
It doesn't always have to be painful to hear, you know? Yeah. So, but that's also different. You know, I know the cabin, the long lost cabin, like that is the place where a lot of these new artists like were born.
Yeah.
And the cabin
niggas don't give credit like that nigga enough credit. Like,
dog.
He basically recorded every new new nigga on the scene right now is recorded at Patrick's crib.
Patrick.
Or they've learned
something from Patrick. So like even like the most legendary songs. I remember what was that song he did with J Marley that I really like? Funny Erotica.
Yes.
Yo, bro.
That
that's like a very legendary collab. Did a legendary collab with the Boy Champagne, and that punk shit, like the whole rage, like
punk shit vibe.
Willie Cardiac also probably got his influence from that. Like these like degenerate kids that really live how they live, and you can like it, you cannot like it, that's your business. But they are really like about it. So
I think that's like look, I think there's nothing the state of hip hop isn't bad in South Africa. I just think we focus a lot on the shitty elements of it, and we don't give enough time and energy and attention to what's really popping. I'll say that there are enough people that are doing enough good work for us to feel, to take a little breath of relief or a sigh of relief. I always think that we could do more, but I think in general there should be more people or more institutions or platforms that are artist driven or artist focused or motivated by trying to benefit artists and their music and the industry as a whole. Because I think that entertainment and art and I think culture in its entirety can be something that really shows a side of a republic and of a country and of a people that I guess many people outside of South Africa could benefit from seeing. I know there's a perspective on Africa that's always like it's tainted. We have a tainted.
We have
a tainted kind of image,
and it's because we allow people from outside to curate our message.
And I think that's why I think I'm really happy because there's some guys who are saying we are truly South African, but we also express ourselves in ways that are fitting for us. So not all of us are going to do vernac, not all of us are going to do piano, not all of us are going to be about that life, but there's enough sort of variety in our scene to be able to give a full enough picture of what South Africa can truly be. And I think Redux is really I think that's why we created Redux, is to create that platform for us to be able to change the narrative of the entertainment and music industry of South Africa from an outsider's perspective, because it seems dope, but I think people have a limited view on what a South African artist is supposed to be. Because if you were to ask like someone from outside of the Northern Hemisphere about South African music, they instantly think Grom and piano, because it's like very South African and big up that.
And we're like the dance capital.
We are dance capital, but I think there's also layers, there's also subgenres, there's also a lot of other subcultures that exist here that platforms like Redux is supposed to shine a light on. And I think in general, all publications need to do a lot more research and looking for people that are bubbling under and not paying so much attention to those that are like already on, because the potential like over the span of time is greater for those that haven't been discovered. It's
actually like, you know, I feel like what can I say, like the bigger the pond, the more like money is involved, because I think shining on, like as you're saying, like a specific group of people, it kind of keeps the same.
It keeps the check going the same way.
It keeps the check going the same way, and the value of the thing never increases.
Yeah,
it always stays
remains the same. Or it's controlled by the people that are getting the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that thing is like it eats away at opportunities for new ideas, for new like opportunities. You know, like for example, like our unemployment rate at home is ridiculous, and it's because of things like Redux not being there. When an artist is saying like, yo, I don't know where I can do my stuff that is not already fully booked. Is there like a...
So you're saying that the unemployment issue could be addressed by these sort of independent businesses coming
these independent businesses, like scale is a different thing. Like to be a multi-million rand business is always maybe...
It takes time, yeah.
It takes time, but also ideas and skills and platforms
always need to be generated,
because that's what actually makes people go out and get work. Like as simple as that. Like artists, there's few places, like if there's in South Africa 10,000 artists, only a 10% of us actually get the slot,
actual money,
make actual money. When it's like in other countries, like doesn't really, the independent scene outside is maybe also because of the size of places, maybe not even America. I want to compare us to like European countries as well, because they're also relatively small.
Yeah,
like England is not like
Europe is not
it's not that big, but the platform is ridiculous that even the normal indie artist is able
can make
a
healthy living.
A healthy living, like who can a good example would be like the House of Pharaohs bros.
Yeah,
like those guys, Sam Wise, Blaze Wild, like those guys are not as big as Skepta yet, you know. I have a lot of faith in them.
They're
not as big as Skepta or like as big as Tonzi, who are making the $1 million,
Always because Octavian.
the £1 million checks like Octavian, you know. But they're surviving. They're actually like able to produce high quality work.
Yeah, true.
Because there's an ecosystem for them to be able to thrive off to build their
names.
Their names.
So there's enough like so I'm understanding you. There's enough places for them to earn their stripes before they get to the major playing game.
Major game.
So I think the issue here is that we don't have incubation. So artists are like dope, but there isn't like a space for them to sort of earn their stripes before they get to like in the city or back to the city. Or like a major
rolling loud, not rolling loud, rocking the daisies. You know,
we don't have incubation period, which is why sometimes you kind of get stifled, because if you pushed in, like if you get thrown into the deep end too soon, you do run the risk of drowning.
And that has happened with like artists like El Gato, you know, Gator. Like he's a cool dude. Like
he's a really great guy.
He's a really great guy. But him getting thrown into the deep end like so early is what I think kind of like ruined it for him. I hope he comes back. You know, he's still young. We're still young niggas.
Yeah, get it. Come out with that shit.
You can actually come out with that new shit and take your place again. But it's because he got thrown into the deep end of lifestyle and
the deal.
You know, the deal, and the music is like super pop. People want to book him. Like, you know, the machine, the car, and the road were two different things.
Yeah.
Like where he was going, and
the car was too fast for the road.
The
road wasn't the quality.
Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
you know, something that I really think is at the heart of, like, something that I really think is at the heart of, I think, just this. It's a lack of a really deep love for where we're from. And now hear me out. I don't wanna. I'm going to give you an example, and I don't like to bring up America.
Yeah.
But, you know, people have this really strong patriotism, but not even for America itself, but for where they're from. This local, I remember seeing this show where like this guy was starting up a restaurant.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make it a point that we need to sell local beer and support local teams. And that was something that was going to draw people to them, because they know people are such stands for where they're from that they'll actually, if this place supporting where they're from will bring people. You know what I'm saying? And I think here we focus so much on wanting to leave, or, you know what I'm saying? And I think...
Or like proximity, like, you know, I'm agreeing with what you're saying, because the proximity thing is something that we've been talking about. You know, a homie of mine like said something funny. She said like, you taking a snap with someone that is commercially famous is not you like actually hustling. Like, you can say you're hustling, but the proximity is a very big issue, because some niggas are doing this thing for proximity so that they can tell niggas how cool they are in the streets, but not actually like building anything that
there's no substance.
There's no substance to what that thing is. You know, I'm not trying to knock niggas for hustling, as they say, but you know, you can tell when someone's doing something for real. And I think is that our thing got tainted with a lot of like poses. Like,
guys that are not really about
that are not really about it. The few guys that are about it are here, but they have to like swim in the like with the same sea as people who are not about it, and it's whack. Like, it's really whack. That
like there's a lot to have. You have to filter out before you get to the
good shit, and it's like
also this. You see, this local thing is that you were mentioning with Sam Wise and them is where they are from. Their little what do you call them? County or provinces or whatever. States or whatever. Their little thing. They still make their money within that little space, and you'll be like, our local artist is Sam Wise. You may be in the neighboring state, but not know. I feel like that's less of an option here, because it's more of you're either not big or you're big in the whole of SA and everyone knows you.
So
you know what I'm saying? You can't carve out your little niche audience.
Whether you're from the Western Cape or
yes, because people aren't really patriots. They don't care that you're from where they are from, where their home is. It doesn't matter, because people don't love where they're from in the first place.
Also,
you know,
like people have this like thing where you only support when everyone's supporting.
Yes,
and it's like I think that's why some artists, it even takes longer for them to blow up. Like Youngster, I always use him as an example because that guy is unapologetically from the West. Like the way he raps, what he talks about, what his city, he actually loves his city. And he almost had to be the blueprint to force people to understand that, yo, like, love me in my city. Like, I get what you guys are feeling. Like, we are here to say, okay, new artists, like, we like them, cool, but I'll come to the party when Ricky comes to the party, or I'll come to the party when Casper comes to the party, or I'll come to the party when AKA comes to the party. And it's like, and not the party just the event, but party in terms of the music. Like, some artists can speak for themselves without a cosign. They've been speaking for themselves without a cosign. But it's like, the cosign plays such a major role that there's some cosign tracks that are not even good.
Yeah.
Like, you listen to a homie's project and people be waiting for the cosign track, and it's like, yo, there's actually 10 tracks in this thing that are way harder than the cosign joint. But, you know, but I guess that's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, I don't know. Look, I guess that's something that we're gonna have to work on. We're gonna work on changing. When we love this place and we just want to make it dope, so we're only here for the party. Don't think, just dance. Redux March 28th, Shine Studios, Planet Giza, Frank Casino, Willie Cardiac, Uncle Party Time, September Youngster, Young Solo, Not Benjamin,
Baby Chill,
Lenzo Wanna Benzo,
dog, like Wave Gas, just in case,
Champagne
69, like, dog, come on,
guys.
That, like, you know, and for a change, it's about us
and about the music,
not
about who knows who,
or like, yo, come and drink
and come and dance. That's all we want.
That's all we need you to do. And yeah, I think we're gonna play some tunes now because we didn't spoke. So let's like listen to this. But yeah, tune in for the next segment of
first of many, man.
First of many. We're gonna try to get some guests to actually talk, but people who are fly, like.
Oh, and also tell us if you listen to this and if it does tickle your fancy, let us know who you'd like to have on the show, because we want local cats on the show. We want to have dope conversations. We don't want to have like censored conversations. We want someone to come and talk their shit. Like talk your shit without judgment. And so if you can be on the show, hit us up.
Tickets up on Howler.
Get your early bird tickets, man.
Early bird tickets, $250.
Follow us, Redux Inc. on Instagram
and Twitter.
Let's be out. That's Chimii, Gondo, and Sandro. Redux Radio. We're signing off.
Redux Radio that way.